Hi guys, this is Stephen Fox again, and today I'm reviewing a very unique phone that is for those of you who just want a phone to stand out in the crowd, to aspire success, and to be instantly recognized. And it doesn't cost $2,000 like the Virtuous Chair. Meet the UHANS U300.
Hey guys, as usual I start with the unboxing, and this is a very good looking box that UHANS have put the 300 in. Specs are on the back. Let's see what's inside besides the phone. You notice I'm wearing my Honor Zero band, which I'll do a review next week. Wow, this is a great phone, great premium phone, but we'll get to the phone a bit later. Unfortunately, in the box you just get a USB Type-C cable, 5V 2A charger, and your SIM tray pin. So nothing really a lot going on in that box.
UHANS have thought not only about the looks of the U300, all the looks are stunning, I assure you, but they've also thought about durability. With a big battery that really lasts a long time, and IP65 splash and dust resistant, this phone is meant to not only sit in your car, but take the extreme lifestyle as well.
The IP65 splash and dust resistant are made possible by the very nice craftsmanship, the thick metal rim that's bolted shut, and all the ports being very good covered. Now this is the 3.5mm jack, it's covered by a plastic. It's more like a rubbery plastic thing, but it's very solid. I actually thought it was going to be weaker, but it's very solid. And of course the charging port is also covered, so no splash of water gets in. Let's just take a look at this absolutely amazing display. Very good screen to body ratio, very good color reproduction, IPS panel, full HD. As you can see, the metal rim is quite thick and it's very solid. However, the phone is very light, it's not very heavy. I was expecting a heavier phone, but it actually feels very well. And this is real leather, it's not false leather, it's real leather on the back. And the UHANS logo is where the speaker is, and here's the multi-navigation fingerprint scanner, which you can use to unlock and also to navigate through the menus. Let's take a look at the UI. One thing you notice first is it's very sleek and fast. There's 4 built-in themes, all are very premium and look very good. I especially love the way they've picked the wallpapers. Wallpapers really suit the style of the phone and the themes as well. I really just love the whole software package in general. It's very fast, very efficient, very smooth, and looks very premium when you look at it. Great. This is one of my favorite wallpapers with the Swiss watch. Very nice indeed. And you get 2 separate buttons for volume up and volume down, and a separate power rocker, and of course the very stylish leather back with the UHANS logo bolted on the speakers. Speaker sound is quite decent, nothing phenomenal but nothing bad either. It can be heard very well. The display is covered in Gorilla Glass and it's very good, it's touch resistant. Now let's check the features, and we get mirror vision, of course, with a blue light filter. Again, this is very good. 2 gigs of storage, which I've used 8 GB of installing 4 or 5 games and basically all social apps out there. So you get a lot of free space after installing all of this. And this is the fingerprint navigation. You can take photo, capture screens, return home by long pressing. As you'll see now, I'll return home with the long press as I've chosen. And you can click to just once to go back, or you take a picture. and other functions as well. This is very handy in everyday navigation. As you see, I just tap once to go back to the menu and then again to go back to home, or I can just long press it. And this is a multi-language ROM, so very good selection of languages, a rich choice for all of you who just want a phone in your local language. It really is one of a kind of phone, and yeah, the security patch is a bit outdated, but BlackBerry have notified me that they're pushing a notch really soon to address that. Let's just check a few benchmarks. You can see Antutu score is quite decent, around Snapdragon 430 level, Full HD 64-bit OS, 1.5 GHz octa-core, 4 GB of RAM, 13 megapixel camera interpolator, 16 megapixels.
UHANS really made an effort to stand out with the display, which is really something, guys. The colors, and it's an IPS Full HD panel. You can see very good colors. I've never seen a 10 touch point display besides from Xiaomi and Meizu at this price point. So this is really something. UHANS really made an effort with this device.
And again, I'm not all for show and tell. Here you can take a look. The display is really a 10-point touch display, and it's covered with Gorilla Glass. And again, this is the Antutu score, very respectable, not really high-end, but plenty fast with the Geekbench score. Gaming is a bit of a mixed bag, but I'll talk that a bit later on. Storage speeds are quite decent, and GPS was very good on the phone outside. With no internet, it looks very fast and very accurate. Now let's talk about the multitasking capabilities. Having 4 gigs of RAM in there and 32 gigs of storage would be nothing. I've seen lots of phones have lots of RAM, and their RAM management really sucks because they reload apps all the time, and slow opening apps. Here you don't have this issue, very fast. As you can see, a lot of mid-range phones struggle with intensive navigation to Google Maps, but the UHANS U300 absolutely flies through it. Very premium performance at this price point. And of course, multitasking is done very well indeed. Here you see some browsing, very nice, with a few tabs open in Chrome and a lot of apps in the background as well. I'll just open the site and you can see it loads very fast in my Wi-Fi at home. Very quick, absolutely no lag. Switching to another site. I have currently around 15-20 apps in the background as well. Very nice, no lag indeed. And you see, just this is how you can filter through apps very quickly. The phone switches between apps that's already loaded in the background. Almost no reloading. Very good job by UHANS. I just don't like the big clear button on the bottom, since I've pressed it a couple of times by mistake and it's really awkward. I wish they could have put a smaller one in there. And there's no gyroscope, so no 360 videos. You can still navigate through the video using the touch screen, but you can't move around to view the content naturally.
Since this is a Chinese device, I was really expecting subpar camera, especially with all the leather looks, and I've seen this before, a phone that just looks okay, but is not fast, doesn't have a good camera. Well, this phone does actually, and I'm quite surprised. It's not also only fast, but the main camera is actually pretty decent. In good lighting conditions, I was able to get really good shots with lots of detail in them, and even for lower light photography, there was very little noise, which was very surprising and very fortunate for those of you who are looking for a good phone with a good camera that looks great.
This camera really is f2.0 aperture as advertised. I was surprised by that. Very good camera quality, especially in good lighting conditions and with HDR enabled. Macro shots have depth of field effect as well. Very good camera experience when you account for the expensive cost for the display and the design quality, build quality. This really does pack a lot of feature. Even electronic image stabilization is enabled. You can see focus is again not the fastest, but very, very good, and the main thing is that it's accurate and preserves the detail in the photo. And with HDR enable you can get a bit more highlights in there. The camera doesn't struggle with overexposure, which I was surprised, and again it's really nice to see in a $200 device with so many features, and it looks great. See plenty of detail in that shot. There's a little stitch sticking out of my R2D2 doll, you could see it there, and you can see the dust gathered on the head of my rabbit doll. And again, very, very good details in my small plant here. Very, very good details indeed. Now here's a few shots I've taken. You can see in the broad daylight, very, very good details, accurate color reproduction, very good highlights. You can also see low light shots have a bit more detail than usual, a little less noise. And here's a clear night shot with a good amount of detail for a Chinese camera. And of course you do get picture-in-picture mode, panorama, and the regular shots. Something you come to expect, but not really from Chinese devices, so it's good to have it here. Front cam is on the average level, maybe just a little bit above. Picture taking is fast, runs very well. I really like that the beauty mode is not very intrusive. It merely just makes your wrinkles a little bit less and basically stretches your skin a little bit, but it's not as noticeable as with other companies. And I really like that. Some of you just want a heavier beauty mode. I really think that this is the way to go, for me at least. And now let's talk about gaming.
Gaming on the UHANS U300 was a mixed bag, and I found out that actually some of the heavy games like Asphalt 8 ran very well in the high settings, but the phone struggled with first-person shooters like Modern Combat 5, so it's a bit of a mixed bag. If you're looking for moderate to light 3D gaming, they will absolutely fly on this device, and you know, for heavy games some will run good, but some will lag a little bit.
So let's sum it up for the UHANS U300. Is this your device? First we'll talk about the good.
Now it's time for the final conclusion of the UHANS U300. So, what are the pros? Stunning design that really makes you stand out in the crowd. IP65, dust and splash resistance. A very good metal rim that saves the phone from a good knock. A leather back for comfort, grip and for style. The main camera takes surprisingly good photos even in low lights. Very fast UI speed and very good multitasking. Good battery life, I mean very good actually. Great display, fast and accurate GPS outside. Built-in fingerprint navigation throughout the menu. This is something that you get more in premium phones.
And again, it's not all rosy. There is some bad in the UHANS U300.
Video quality on both cameras is really on average, I would say on subpar level. Again, no gyroscope sensor. What is it with these Chinese brands and the gyroscope? Heavier games, first-person shooters especially, will lag a bit in the high settings. And I found that the charger supplied with the phone takes a bit too long, around over 3 hours to charge the device. But if you do have a quick charger or a faster charger, like 9 volts 2 ampere one, it will charge it a little bit faster, but not much. USB Type-C and NFC would have been really nice in this package to make it look more premium, more business-like. UHANS are about to release another update for the phone to update the security patch and do a bit of quirks with the software. I don't know what they'll do actually. I think it's mainly for the video quality that needs fixing, since everything else just runs really good on the phone. I really recommend this device. Great looking phone and a great phone in general. I would say if you're looking for something like this, definitely the asking price is not too much, considering you really don't have an alternative for this kind of device here. This was Stephen Fox, and I hope you enjoyed my review, and I'll see you next week.
Stick around.